Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to Not Perfect Zen. I hope you're having a good day. This is the middle of January now, and it's so cold everywhere, and I hope you're staying warm. When I started 2024, one of the things I wanted to do was go back to some of my old habits, and that included, the basic 8 steps. And I wanted to also, along with that, go back to my habit of finding new tangles and playing with them, and that's what I enjoyed when I first found Zentangle. And so this week, I went to the musterkel.de website, and I will put down in the description below the video, I'll put links to these patterns. But I found these two, and I thought they were just so pretty, and they're really simple. And I'm going to try to put them together on a tile, maybe an odd combination, but let's see how it comes out. So this one is Tafira, T-A-F. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. T-A-F-I-R-A, and it is by Maria Concepcion Perez Vazquez, and she's a CZT. And then this one is called Maitia, I guess, by Lidia, Herman-Gomez, Ponce. Okay, and I probably butchered those names, but beautiful patterns, easy to do, and I think you'll have fun with it. Okay, so I am going to use a Zentangle 3.5 inch tile, and just recently I thought as long as I'm doing YouTube videos, I'm going to use the Zentangle tiles, and I really do love these. I greatly appreciate how much effort Rick and Maria went into finding really good paper for us to use, but you can use anything. This is just a page out of a sketchbook, and in the description I show how I use these disc-bound systems. It's just what I have found works the best for me. 3.5 inch disc tile, 3.5 inch tile. I'm going to be using a Micron 01, and I'm going to use, oh shoot, I thought I had a Micron PN here. Okay, so now I have 2 Micron 01s that are marked as being new, because that's what I want to use in my videos, a good pen. All right, so appreciation for our tools. I have a blending stump, also known as a tortillon, and a graphite pencil, and I keep a kneaded eraser close by. All right, so let's get started. Again, very appreciative of all of you for watching my channel. And I'm going to start with 4 corner dots. Actually, I'm going to bring these in because this is going to be kind of my string for this. Let's come in a little bit with our corner dots. About right here. So a little bit more than the width of my pencil. Okay, and then I'm going to very lightly put a line across here. Okay, and I'm keeping it kind of straight because, again, that's going to be our guide. And the first one I'm doing is this one. And for this one, I'm going to use my Micron PN. And another thing is I'm going to just very lightly kind of indicate where I think center is on both sides. All right, now this starts with what looks like a little peach. And I'm going to put one of them so it goes in a little bit and comes down. Okay, and then right next to it, I'm going to do another one. Right? And then the next thing that we do is like a little leaf coming off the side of each one of these. And then we're going to put a petal here. Goes up, come back down, and then we put like a little backward S shape in there. Okay? So that's how we do that. And now we're going to go from the bottom of this and make our little scroll with a little swirl at the end. And we're going to have it come to that corner. Okay? So I'm going to come from underneath, kind of follow the bottom of that, and have it curve up to where my corner is, and then just kind of swirl around. Now I think hers go in the opposite direction, but this is how I'm doing it. And you can look at the step out for this on the mustard kill side, and I'll put a link in the description. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to come off the bottom of that, curve up a little bit. I want my swirl to be at this corner. And just come around, kind of like printemps. And then going in the opposite direction, on the opposite side of that swirl, we're going to put another little one here. Okay, so now we're just going to repeat that on each side. Here's my, what I think is the center. So we're going to put our little peach. That's what I think of it as. Another little peach. Put a leaf coming off of each one. And then our little petal here. And our little S. And then these are going to come up and meet up here. Put our other little swirl in the other direction. And then the same thing over here. I'm going to come off the bottom, curve up, come back down to that corner that I marked with our little swirl. Okay, so we're just going to continue with that. Make our little peach. Make another one. This is just such a pretty little border that comes together quickly. Once you figure out these basic steps, it's a super simple pattern. Okay, now our little scroll. And another one there. And then this one. Come into that corner. And then just another little one here. And then always turn in your tile to keep your hand comfortable. Here come our last two little peaches. Okay. Little leaves coming off the top. And then our little petal And now we're going to make these meet. Another little scroll in the center. And then our last one over here. Swoop down, come up, and meet your other one. I'm not worried about these being perfectly the same. We don't do perfect here. We just have fun. Now, isn't that cute? Just a super simple pattern, and it makes such a pretty border. All right. Now I'm going to put 2 of these in here, and this one is Maitia. Maitia? I'm not sure. And this one, I like to start with my graphite pencil. And let's put one like right here. And I'm just gonna try to make an orb, a circle. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna move it up a little bit into that corner, just a little bit more. So I have room to put another one over here. So let's start this one up here. And I just want kind of an orb. Doesn't have to be perfect. And what we do next, and for this one, I'm going to use the Micron 01. So if you look at this, this is the form of an orb, and then this part is going to come around just partially, and then we'll go back inside and make it kind of like a crescent moon. Okay, and I'm going to want the bottom, I want my stems to come down this way. So I'm just going to kind of follow my orb, about that much, and now put that little crescent inside. And then next she puts these little orbs, one in the center, and then 2 on each side of that center one. So, simple so far, right? And then the next thing we're going to do is put these little U shapes in there. And so I'm just going to start on this side and come down below that little orb and then come up about halfway between. Then we're going to come down, do the same thing, go under, and about halfway you're going to come back up. So we're just going to go along making these U's. All right. Next thing is we're going to fill in these spaces. And it's okay to make this one a little bit thicker. All right, just keep going across. Filling in these spaces along the bottom, keeping your little orbs open. Okay. And then next, we're going to put these lines. And you can make them kind of dashed to make it look like there's a sparkle on there, or you can just make them straight. And I like it just plain lines, I think. I'm going to remove that. Okay, so just kind of start at the center and go towards each edge. Okay. And I do it that way just because it helps me to get my lines curving the way I want them to. So just a slight curve toward each side. And that's why I like the Micron 01, because it's got a nice sharp line to it, a fine line. Here. Okay, and I'm going to darken this dividing one just a little bit more. All right. So the next thing she does is she has stems that come out. So let's go down this way. And they're all going to kind of meet about that way. About that far down. Okay, there we go. And then on a couple of them, she had some little clusters, little orbs down here, but let's wait until we get another one on here. Okay, so we're going to start again. And it'll look a whole lot better after we get some shading on there too. So let's put one up in this area. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of a guide for my orb. Trying to make this one just a little bit bigger. You can use a circle maker, but I'm trying to just do this all freehand. I come up like that. Okay. Now I'm back to my 01. And I'm going to want these to kind of just come across here. So I'm going to do my opening that way. Okay. Now we're going to do our crescent inside. Now our 5 little orbs. One in the center, one on each side. Okay, now we're going to put our little U shapes. Coming kind of just right up the center between these orbs that are already there, and then up here. Now we're going to fill these in. And thicken this a little bit. Okay. All right, now we're going to put our other little lines in. Oop. See, that smeared a little bit because I didn't wait for that to finish drying. But it's okay. It won't show up that much. So now we're putting our little lines in each of these spaces. Just curving a little bit towards the way these are curved. Going down to your little orb. And just take your time, one stroke at a time. Easy little strokes. And you can see mine are not all the same distance apart. Doesn't matter. Okay. So there we go. Now we've got 2. And I'm going to have these lines coming down across this one. Okay. And then, like I said, she had a couple of little decorative orbs on here. And let's put, always heard it's better to have an odd number, so there's 5. And I didn't put an odd number of those, so it's okay. Just have fun with it. All right, so now we're going to add our shading. And I want to do the ones in the center first. And we are going to use our graphite pencil, and we're going to enhance that line that we originally made. We're going to add more. And then we're going to come up into this one and add some shading also. Okay, and don't leave a space between the line that you're shading and your graphite. Try to make sure that's closed up. Okay, and now with my blending stump, and if this is your first time here, I keep this in here to keep my tip sharp. And I just keep it there so I know where it's at. Now we're just going to lightly come up here and soften, but don't bring it all the way down. Come on around to where you have this other line and just keep softening that. And then we're just going to leave a highlight there. No sharp edge, just a soft highlight there in the center. Okay? And then underneath, or on top of these orbs, I'm going to put just a tiny bit of shading. Tiny bit of graphite. And then just very lightly soften those. You don't want to pull them up much because you don't have a lot of space there. But with all those lines coming together, it looks good to have a little bit of shading there. You could come back later with a white jelly roll and enhance those. I might pull that out. So this is a jelly roll tin. Let me show you. And I want to make sure on the back it's actually working, and it is. So if I put just a dot of white on each of those, see how that makes that pop a little bit more? Okay. So if you have a jelly roll, could be a 5, an 8, or a 10. That can help. Now I have to make sure I don't put my hand on that or I'll smear it. Okay, here we go again. We're going to go along the bottom of that orb that we made. And then underneath. Okay, I'll go ahead and put a little bit on top of each of these. And then we'll start softening that. Just along the bottom. Okay, and then this one, again, you're going to pull it down. Just keep kind of moving in circles. And pushing it up just a little bit, but we're going to leave a highlight in there. And then on these, just soften them a little bit. Okay. And then I'll go ahead with that jelly roll again, so these match. And I'm just putting a little white dot of jelly roll where we made those orbs. Okay, and I think I'm going to wait on that. What I'm going to do down here is follow her lead, and she just put a little bit of graphite around each one of these. And I'm just using what's already on my blending stump. Okay, now we're going to do some shading here, and I'm simply going to put a little graphite on each one of our little peaches and a little bit on each one of our little S's. So tiny bit on each side, tiny bit down the bottom, and then I'm just coming up that little S. Not putting a lot on there because we don't have a lot of space. You don't want to totally fill it up. Okay, a little bit here. Now let's soften those, and you'll see how good that looks. Okay, just soften it on each side. And pull it up. Let's turn it over. Isn't that cool? Very simple. Okay, just keep going around. All right, there we go. We did it. You could put 4 of these, you could put 3. I just wanted to do a couple of these to show you these simple patterns and how you could just put them together. And I love finding new patterns on either Musterkel or the Tangle Patterns website. And I just happened to find these this week. They're fairly new. And again, I'll put a link down in the bottom. Let's add a chop. Okay, I'm just going to put it out here. I encourage you to put the pattern names on the back of your tile, date it. And then when you come back and you want to know what were these patterns, you'll be able to find it on your tile. I did it upside down. It doesn't matter. All right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. I just really enjoyed these patterns and was excited to share them with you. Have a great day. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share, leave comments. All those things help to support my channel. Thank you so much. Bye.